All right, my friends, welcome to episode 107 of Prof and Dev Play Games. I'm the Professor Larry at Prof Plays Games, and over there is Anthony, the Dev, at SummerSpeak, both on Twitter. How are you doing, man?
Doing good. It's been a eventful Super Nintendo-filled weekend so far.
It sure has. Yeah. I'll talk about how little time I got with it, but I'm happy that we both got ours. We both have pre-orders on Amazon, and neither of us trust the dates or the shipping on Amazon, so we decided to hit up our local Targets and try our luck.
Yeah, I don't even have a date on Amazon yet.
You don't even have a date?
Nope.
Oh, mine says ship on the 9th of October and receive it by the 11th. You don't even have that.
I bet you will get yours then.
Okay.
Once they have a date and they give you a date, it will most likely hit that time. But I don't even have one. They're just still trying to figure out when you'll get yours. So,
did you hear that Amazon said that they basically oversold the pre-orders?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which makes sense. Had it open for 45 minutes and people were buying tons and tons of them. So,
and they tend to not want to cancel orders.
Right.
They'll only cancel if they know for sure that they can't get the product.
So they'll hold your order forever until they have to cancel it.
Yeah, or until they know it's sorry, we can't. We know for a fact we will never get more of these and we can't fulfill that.
Right.
But basically now they're saying with mine especially is we know we'll have more. You will get one once we get more.
And they just don't know when that is.
Yeah.
The crazy thing about
Nintendo know when that is? Who knows?
Exactly. Yeah, I think they're pretty confident that they're going to keep producing these. And to be honest, the supply that we saw in the brick and mortar shops, was it yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, wow. It's been a long 24 hours for me. Indicate that they have a lot more stock than the Nintendo Classic for sure.
It seems like it.
I mean, I rolled up to my Target about 10 minutes before it opened. And there was probably a line of 50 people. So there were a bunch more cars rolling in when I rolled in. So I started running to get in line. Some guy was yelling at all of us. He's like, "You guys don't need to run. What are you doing?" So I ran up and jumped in front of him in line. He's like, "I know judo. I will hurt you." I was like, "Dude, I'm just kidding." So I got back the line and the Target people were rolling down the line with the paper slips in their hand and passing them out. And I just was counting people in front of me and looking at how thick the stack was. And I was like, yes, I'm definitely getting one. And I ended up being 57 out of 78.
Yeah. Mine was, I didn't know. It was sure, I'll see if I get it. I didn't do anything super special other than I woke up especially early and took the earliest boat in that I could from the passenger ferry, not the big ferries or anything. Just
right.
So it was it was a 6:10 ferry in the morning. I got to downtown at just after 6:30. Took me 10 minutes to walk up to Target. And I walk up, I'm rounding, for people in Seattle, walked by the Showbox, the concert venue, and its parking lot you can see into the alley next to Target. And there was a line of people there.
Right.
So I just walked right into the line. And a couple more people got behind me. And then 5 minutes later, it was the Target employee came out and was had a very nice, clear voice and said, "Everyone will be getting one. We have 120 in store. We're going to hand out tickets now." I was number 68.
Nice.
So, yeah, and more people showed up, all the way until it opened. They sold out of their 120. But if you had gotten there, right at 7 when they opened here, you would probably still had one.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was 8 o'clock here, and showing up 10 minutes early. I woke up early. Well, you know what I said actually. I was gonna get up early, and I told my wife the night before. I said I'm just gonna. It was 4 a.m. when I passed off the kid, and I was like, I'm not setting an alarm. If I get up, I'll go. If I don't, then I won't. But I got up at 7:30, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna get up and go. So I get my clothes on, go downstairs, and there's a baby fiasco going on, so I couldn't leave for another 10 minutes, something like that. So I was late, and I was like, oh, it's fine if I don't make it, because Toys R Us opens at 10, GameStop opens at 10, and to be honest, I have my Amazon order, so I'll get one somehow. So I was surprised that 10 minutes before I got there, and I wasn't the last in line. I had enough, or there was enough for me to get one. But as soon as I got there, 15 people, 20 people rolled up behind me. So it was, if I would have been 5 minutes later, maybe not. There was someone waiting in line without a ticket, because the ticket was good for an hour. So if people didn't, buy theirs, then they would be open to everybody.
Which is really weird. I'm like, why would you wait in line and not buy it?
Well, I thought the same thing. And then when I left, first of all, when I was in line, a woman who was near the front of the line got frustrated and gave her ticket to some random person who was walking up and said, I'm leaving. Like, 5 more minutes, you would have had it. What's going on here?
Yeah.
But as I was leaving, a guy was running from the store to his truck with the ticket in his hand and got in his truck and peeled out of the parking lot and made me think that he didn't bring his wallet.
Oh, that's true. That's true. People could have problems there of being like, oh crap, I forgot my wallet or didn't have the cash on me, whatever. So
exactly. Well, and I had a panic attack because I didn't check for my wallet. I just like automatically grabbed, in the chaos with the kid and everything. I just assumed I grabbed it. And then I was like, what? As I was walking in the store, I patted myself down. I was like, oh, thank God. If I didn't have my wallet, I have to run home, get the thing, run back. So
how long did it? So you opened at 8. So they opened the store right at 7 for me. We all funneled through our store. The employees were kind of amused the entire time. They're just like, it's like Black Friday, but everyone was orderly. They kind of just directed us up the escalators in the downtown store and to the electronics area. It took about a half an hour for me to check out the line because they had 2 people, just one after another, just selling them.
Well, they had 3 people in mine, and it was at the customer service area, which is right at the left hand as soon as you walk in. So they had us just line up down the aisle, down the women's clothing aisle. And it was pretty fast. I think I got out of there in 20 minutes.
Nice.
And it was, they just had boxes of them, just pulling them out, and everyone's just super excited. And it was a cool line. Everyone's, just talking about how excited they are about the nostalgia trip we were about to take. And just, I was looking at Reddit and everyone else's experience too, and people were just like everywhere. They were just tons in stock everywhere they went. Yeah. Like they could, there were people everyone who showed up basically got what they wanted. Yeah.
It definitely seemed like Target did really well this time. Like
Target was really well organized.
I was like, this ticket works. They were prepared. The employees knew what was going on, and it just worked.
I'm glad they knew it was a big deal to do that. Apparently Walmart was a shit show, and they didn't get much stock. So, I mean, don't shop at Walmart, basically, guys.
Well, don't do it in the first place anyway. But
yeah, right. I don't know if Target's much better, but so yeah, we both got them. So my goal,
if you want to get into a little bit of the politics of Target, they've agreed by 2020 to raise all their minimum wage to $15 an hour.
All right, well there we go.
Doesn't matter what state or anything. If you work at Target, $15 an hour. So
better than Walmart.
Yes, they actually are better than Walmart.
All right. Well, I'm proud to shop at Target then. Yeah, so I was going to bring it home, and I wanted to start with like Final Fantasy 3.6, which I never played before, and I barely got it plugged in yesterday and didn't play it until today, and played it in 3 2-minute bursts throughout the day until late this evening, or early this evening actually, when I was wearing my kid. I got to play for about 25 minutes.
Wow.
So I played several games, which I'll get into, but I want to ask you first how your experience with playing the Super Nintendo.
All right. So, I mean, I picked mine up 7:30 in the morning. I walked out of that store and then just caught a bus and went up to my office. And then the thing just sat on my desk in my office until lunchtime. And then I plugged it in. And there's a couple of people in the office. They were just kind of curious about it. First thing I did was unlock Star Fox 2.
Nice.
Star Fox has not aged well.
Oh my God! I played
that game has not aged well.
I played it today. That's one of the ones I played in that first 2-minute burst because I wanted to unlock. That's the first thing I wanted to do, but it hasn't aged well, and I had to my wife was with the kid, but the kid was screaming her head off, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't. No. First of all, I feel bad playing when we need to be dealing with the kid, even though it's not my shift. But two, like the screaming, I can't focus.
No, you can't. No, your brain chemistry says no.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, Star Fox itself, like, wow, it's aged very poorly, and I liked that game as a kid.
And I still have nostalgia for it, like when I hear the sounds and the music and the whole thing, like it hits a certain place. And I actually played through like 4 missions of it because my son was like, I was just flicking through games, and he was like, what's Star Fox? I'm like, well, let's show you Star Fox. And I got more into it again. But yeah, it's a hard one. Yeah. It's there's a lot of nostalgia tinted glasses on that one, and playing it again does not improve it. And playing Star Fox 2, oh my God, is that a strange game?
Yeah.
I can kind of see why it didn't get released.
So what's strange about it for you?
Honestly, the walking thing is really weird. It just doesn't feel great.
Mhm.
Like, there's a lot of the control stuff that it just seems way too complicated. Like, they're trying to overload all the different things. So there's elements of the first Star Fox in it, but then they try to add more with the walking and then the transforming, and the frame rates on all that get really low.
I heard it was really bad.
It's pushing the hardware, I say in quotes, really hard in different places. The whole presentation, I mean, it's a bold move. It's very different than the original game, which in some ways is cool. Like, there's a whole meta map. So instead of just choosing a path to the end, like, Corneria?
Mm-hmm.
Corneria is under attack by Andross. And there's different things, like, you choose who you want to fly as. You don't have to be Fox. So you can choose any of the different pilots, and you choose one as a wingmate.
Mm-hmm.
And you're intercepting different things heading to the planet. So, like, there's missiles and fighters incoming. You intercept them, and it's a quick mission to, like, destroy them. Or you can go to different, like, the asteroids and take out a base, or, like, all sorts of random things. And you're trying to protect the main planet from taking damage.
So it's like a tower defense?
Kind of, but you're just flying around the universe trying to, like, intercept this stuff.
Huh.
It's different. It's just a different game. I give them credit as the developers long ago for at least trying to do something very different than just, we'll just do Star Fox with more. It's just, it doesn't really gel together, and I see Nintendo being like, yeah, we shouldn't release this now, especially with PlayStation coming out.
Right.
It doesn't look great compared to PS1 and Saturn graphics at the time.
Right.
And it's not the greatest gameplay. It's not going to be like this hot ticket thing. So I see why it was shelved. It's kind of a cute thing from a archival look at.
Yeah, it's nice from a historical perspective for them to include it and to make it so that you have to unlock it by playing the first round or first level of Star Fox.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting how, at least in the early days, or maybe even now, I'm not sure, I think more in the early days, where they would iterate on their game, so the second game was so different than the first.
Yeah.
You know, like Link 2, or Legend of Zelda, or
Zelda
Adventures
2.
of Link. Yeah, Zelda 2, basically. Or even on the Super Nintendo, the Super Mario World, and then Yoshi's Island.
Oh, Yoshi's Island is so crazy different. Like, whenever you think of, like, you're like,
first one, right?
Yeah, you're like, why would you're making a sequel to Super Mario World. Super Mario World 2. Oh, wait, you play as Yoshi. Like,
well,
why would that even be your first thought?
Right. Well, it's a sequel to, like, one of the best games ever made. Yeah. Like, if you would have given us more of that, we would have been so happy, but we got Yoshi's Island, which, to be honest, was one of my favorite games on the Super Nintendo.
No, it's a fantastic game. But it's just, yes, it felt like there was more freedom back then.
Yeah.
I think it's because games also didn't cost as much. Teams were smaller.
Right.
Overall. Like, it wasn't going to tank a company for one of these games to not do well. So,
right. Well, and less expectation.
Yeah.
Maybe less expectation from the audience, or even just less of an not echo chamber, but like a conduit for them to just express their rage.
Yeah. So, where was I? I played that at work, Star Fox, and went on those. Played some Super Mario. I had to boot the first thing up, actually, was Super Mario World. And just played the first level of Super Mario World. Because 26 years ago, I did that.
Right. That's the first game you played on the Super Nintendo when you got it.
Yep. So first game I wanted to play on this one. And that game still holds up. It holds up so well. And there's still so much muscle memory to it. I was just playing it and I'm like, oh, I remember this. And duck. And jump. Oh, I can go down this pipe. Okay. It was really bizarre how much I remembered.
That's how it was when I was playing on the Virtual Console on the new 2DS. Like, oh my god, I remember all the secrets. I remember just so much. I played the crap out of that game.
Yeah. What else? And so that was all I really played. I played there. And then I came home last night and I plugged it into my monitor at my computer desk. Something to know, it can be powered off of a computer USB.
Good to know.
Or your TV's USB, if it has a USB port.
That's what I'm using right now, is my TV's USB.
Yeah, I mean, you just plug it. I was really happy about that, so.
Yeah, makes it easier.
So I just have it plugged. I can swap it between my living room and my computer monitor super easy now. So I was playing in here and I booted up Final Fantasy 3/6 and really started. I played probably hour and a half into it, 2 hours into it.
Oh, wow.
It's one that I actually never played that much of.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to think. I rented it back in the day, but I never... 7 was the one that I, like, really played through myself and everything.
It's crazy to me that 7 was the one immediately after this one, the 3.6.
Yes.
Like, wow.
They're wildly different, yes.
Yeah.
And, well, different, kind of.
Well,
of course, graphically, but...
Exactly, right.
Story-wise, I can see the hints of 7 in 6. Like, I can see them pushing more towards that the type of storytelling they want to do, and that they finally were able to do in 7.
I booted it up tonight. I'm playing all these without sound right now, so I don't want to get too far into any of them, because the sound is really part of the experience.
The sound is incredible.
Yeah. And that's a Uematsu, I think. It's an
Uematsu. The music in it is fantastic. I just, like, for all the games on here, like, that's the one thing that stands out, is that sound design on the Super Nintendo was top-notch.
Right.
Holy
That's
cow.
why I don't want to play with the sound off. And it's, I'm used to playing now with headphones in the controller, right? I never use my TV speakers for almost anything. So that's a unique challenge. And I need to hook up to my computer. I put it down there just because I wanted to show my wife.
Yeah.
And the first thing I showed her was Star Fox, and she was like, "This is ugly. Why do people want this thing?" I was like, "Okay, let me show you some of the other games. This one is terribly ugly."
It is.
But it's, from a perspective of, it was doing something with that FX chip or whatever that nothing else did at the time. So this was like groundbreaking, but not
it was a math coprocessor sitting on the cartridge.
Yeah.
So that it could actually draw polygons.
Right. Well, and it did, and they're still there.
Yeah.
Well, I think about Yoshi's Island too, the remakes later had a different sound chip, so the sound was different. So this is the original, which is getting a lot of the originalists. I don't know. They're very excited. So
I had a ton of fun there. And what did I do today? I let my son, as you saw, posted a picture on my different social medias, plugged it into the main TV, and showed my kids, and was like, okay, this is the thing. They're like, what games are on it? And I'm scrolling through. I'm like, Mario, Zelda. I want to play Zelda. I'm like, okay.
There you go.
Here you go. Let's do it. And then he proceeded to spend an hour beating his head against trying to get to Princess Zelda.
Oh, no.
Which is fine. He still wants to do it, and he's like, can I play again tomorrow? He has to practice. Like,
yeah, of course.
He's so... you take for granted the fact that, like, it's really hard for him right now to actually use, like, both thumbs independently.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's, like, swinging a sword, he doesn't think to move.
Right.
Or, like, rotate himself. And if he's moving, he doesn't think to... Although after the end of the hour, he was getting quite a bit farther into the dungeon each time. Like, he was doing combat, he was figuring things out. Like, you see it clicking. It just... I'm like, I took for granted how much time it probably took me to get used to these games, and I started on a Nintendo, so... Well,
even not just the dexterity to use the controller, but, like, the logic of figuring out how to get through the dungeon.
Yeah.
So, that's great. And I think that that controller, more than the Nintendo controller, is probably fits well in his hand.
It does. Like, you can definitely feel, like, his thumb, he doesn't have to, like, stretch his thumbs to press any of the buttons, which is the key part. Compared to, like, a PS4 or an Xbox controller, where if he's trying to reach, like, triangle or Y, he has to like move his entire hand to get up there. So yeah, it was fun watching him do that, and the fact that he kind of got a little frustrated, but then he's like, no, and we told him, like, you just have to practice, you'll be okay. And he's like, okay. And so he just was running around just trying to practice fighting different nights, trying to get better at it. So he wants to try it again tomorrow and keep working at it.
The growth mindset, it's you learn from mistakes.
Yes.
Which is all about what video games are. So after Legend of Zelda, anything else you dive into?
Let's see, what did I do? Then after that, this evening, I played the 4 levels of Star Fox.
Oh, yeah.
After going to see that. And then I did, 15 minutes of Earthbound.
Okay. Have you played that before, right?
I did. That is one that I played through, weirdly, when I was with my grandparents when we were driving to Alaska.
Oh, that TV in
a motorhome.
Okay. Ooh.
We're in the back of the motorhome, and I remember how I got through long stretches of nothing Canada with me in the back just playing Earthbound for hours.
Yeah.
So, and it's really cool if people like the Nintendo put up an SNES like mini classic site, but you can download like PDFs of all the instruction manuals.
Yeah, and I saw.
And the Earthbound is the entire the strategy guide, which I have
really?
somewhere. Yeah, because that's what came with the box. That's what came with it.
That's right.
So I got to download that thing because I think it's still sitting in California somewhere.
Oh, at your grandparents' house?
Yeah, there's still some more boxes. Like they delivered the PC game boxes, and I was asking, I'm like, okay, in that closet where these were there Nintendo Powers? Because did you get rid of those? Because if you didn't, I have every Nintendo Power from the first one to probably mid 90s.
Dang.
And they're probably all sitting in that closet. And they said, no, we moved those. I think they're in a box. I'm like, I want that box. I want those.
Did they just visit you? Were they up there?
Yeah, they were up here.
Oh, okay.
They visited me for birthday and everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So for me, the things I dove into, the first game that I played was, I think it was Star Fox. Blah. Yeah, I'll get back and beat that first level. I'll probably get back into the swing of things of that, but it was a little rough. And I wanted to play a couple games that I've never played before. So I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about one of the worst games on the Mini. So I decided to try it, Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
I heard.
That game's awful. That game is fucking terrible. It's so hard and so bad. You get like 3 hits and like the double jump, like it's just so imprecise. It really is hard to maneuver. I don't know how people beat these games back in the day.
I don't know.
And then I did Yoshi's Island
Nice.
I tried to do like the first level of several games. So I did the first level of Yoshi's Island. I did the first level of one of the games in Kirby Superstar, which I've never played before, which was super fun. It was really a fun game. Like this, these games are the quality of like the indies now are trying to do these like retro, 16-bit platformers or whatever, and trying to reach this level. Like they hit it back then. It was really good. And then I did Final Fantasy 3/6 for about 5 minutes just to load it up, and I realized that I'm missing the music, so I need to go back and start
the music and the sound. Music is so good. I love that we sit here and we're like 3/6. It's so freaking confusing now.
It really is. Like I really didn't get it until the SNES Mini was coming out, because I was like, is it 3 here but 6 there, or 6 here and 3 there? But now I finally got it.
As I'm sitting with the actual Final Fantasy 3 Nintendo DS cart in front of me, which is actually Final Fantasy 3, like Japanese numbering. It's just funny. I'm just like,
here. Right? They got released here for the first time.
Finally, a lot of them got actually on the PlayStation. They did there's 2 bundles, like Final Fantasy Anthologies 1 and 2 or something. I don't know the exact titles.
Right.
My friend in college had them, and they actually collected Final Fantasies 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6 on PlayStation.
The original one.
Yeah. Like they retranslated and put them all. It was like the first time that 5 had ever come out in the US.
Right.
The couple, was it 2 was 4, right? Or is 2? I don't even remember.
I think it's 1, 2.
1 was on the NES. 2, I can't even remember anymore. I won't look it up right now. But there's weird. But then there's the PlayStation was the first time they put out a couple finally in the US, and then they did the DS remakes,
right?
Which more recently, I don't know. It's ridiculous, but
gun to your head, favorite Final Fantasy?
One that came right to my head was 12.
Okay.
Well, don't know if that holds. Yeah, it's the one I've been playing recently, and it is up there. It is definitely. It's that or it's 9.
Yeah. I picked up 9. Did you pick it up too?
I did. It was on sale, so
yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll see when I get to it. Who knows? I have so many games now. Can we talk about decision paralysis with the SNES Classic? Because I totally have it.
In terms of what to play?
Yeah, I boot it up and I just look at the carousel of games and I'm like, I don't know what to play right now.
Right. Well, I want to dig in. I really do. And I don't have. I just wish the controller was longer, because where I sit with the baby, like when she's asleep, I end up playing on my PlayStation because it's a wireless controller.
Yeah.
The SNES is not quite long enough to get to where I'm at. But yeah, no, definitely just there's so like decision paralysis kind of is amplified this whole year, right? Because there's so many good things to play.
Yeah.
And then you get this awesome nostalgia trip, and it's like, here's 30 games. Well, I know I'm not going to play Super Ghouls and Ghosts ever again. So there's 29 now, or whatever, 25 or whatever it is. But yeah, I agree. Decision paralysis is a thing.
So you played Ghouls and Ghosts and said, this is crap. Why is this on here?
I did. I was like, well, this could be Chrono Trigger. Like,
it could be Chrono Trigger. It could be ActRaiser.
It could be ActRaiser, which I never played, but I hear you like.
ActRaiser is very good. There's a couple things. This has actually made me consider looking and following the modding community.
Uh-huh.
Because supposedly this is the exact same hardware as the NES Classic.
Which means you can mod it pretty easily.
Exactly. Like, the board, everything.
Right.
So, it just has different software for the emulator. So there's part of it I'm just like waiting, and I'm like, okay, I'm very much considering if they come with a way that I can load other games onto this thing.
Did you see the article that came out in the wake of the SNES Mini from, I can't remember which website it was, but it said, why get an NES Mini when you can get a Raspberry Pi?
Oh god, that was hilarious.
And never shut the fuck up about it.
That was such a hilarious article.
With the NES Classic, he's like, why get that? You can just emulate everything. I was like, well, I could steal everything, or I could get this really cool little mini console, like, and pay for this really cool, like, it's, it's a collector's item, basically. To be honest, I don't play it that much.
Sitting out there.
You on your emulator?
No, actually, the cart.
Yeah, the cart at your house?
Yeah.
I see.
Not that I can play it. I have a Super Nintendo. I don't have any cords for it. And then I learned that hooking up a Super Nintendo, an original one, to like an LCD TV is actually a pain in the ass to get it to look good.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why I wanted the SNES Mini, was because it's already calibrated for HDMI and to like work properly, put the borders around it, make it look good.
Right. Yeah, it looks good. Which filter are you using? CRT 4.3
just normal,
or
whatever it was defaulted to. I haven't tried the
4.3.
Yeah, I haven't tried the CRT. I've considered it though.
I put it on with Star Fox. So regular Star Fox, my wife is like, "Well, that looks ugly." I said, "Check this out." I put on the CRT filter. She's like, "Why would anybody want to do that? It looks awful." I'm like, well, this
is how you used to play things.
Exactly. It's just nostalgia. Come on. So I've got about 10 minutes left, unfortunately, before I've got to get back down to my baby. So we haven't talked about what we've been playing lately, so I'd love to spend the last 10 minutes doing that if you don't mind.
We've talked about what I've been playing the last couple days.
Yeah, the Super Nintendo. Before the Mini came, what were you playing?
12 still.
Oh, okay.
I've just been digging into Final Fantasy 12 and then Bravely Default on the DS during my commutes.
Oh, nice. On your commute.
Or Bravely Second, yeah. Mm-hmm. It is JRPG all the time right now for me. I don't know why, but it just is, and I'm loving it.
Well, then you booted up Final Fantasy 3.6 too on this. You're just all over the place with these.
I was like, am I doing this? Am I really doing this? Am I going to do 3 all at once? And I'm like, yeah, I'm really just loving that type of game right now.
Yeah.
I've been considering Original Sin 2.
Dude, I'm
sitting there at it, but I don't know if I'm ready for that type of game right now.
I have hovered over it 10 times. I'm still playing the original one. I'm doing a trophy cleanup in Assassin's Creed Syndicate right now. I'm doing I don't have time for this right now. And I know that when I do, it'll be cheaper. I desperately want to do that co-op with you. Find 1 hour a night or 2 hours a week, to sit down and just do 2 hours of the campaign and then just pick it up again the next week. It just it looks like something that we could do that with. In the same way, Witcher 3, it's a huge game, but you can do side quests and you can do parts of the main quest, and there's natural places to stop. But if it's like Original Sin, the first one, there's so much in those games, and there's so much stuff that you wouldn't even know that's there. Right. So. Well, the same thing with Witcher. They put a ton of side things in there. I didn't find half of the side things, and I explored the shit out of that game. But it just looks like the reviews that people are just like, this is the best, one of the best of this genre ever made. Yeah. Which they didn't say about the first one. I think people liked it, but not like this. No, the first one was well received and felt like a good, isometric computer RPG, Western RPG. They're like, wow, you guys really did this. You modernized it and did great. This one, Original Sin 2, people are just like, this is incredible.
You've taken everything from that first one and made it just better in every way.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm sitting there on that one. I'll hold off at the moment. I'll wait. I have got too much to play. So
I agree. Do you think that what is it, the winter sale or whatever, the Christmas sale or whatever they call it? I don't remember what they call it. On Steam, like there's the summer and then winter sale.
It might have a marginal sale on it.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
They may not need to, though, is the thing.
Right. Just like Battlegrounds, there's no discount because, yeah. Oh, speaking of Battlegrounds.
Selling like crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So they might not. Did you play Fortnite Battle Royale?
I have not played Battle Royale. One, because you're just like, everyone said like it's super stressful. And I'm like, I don't want to be stressed. I was getting a release for our game out, so I was already stressed. So I was like, I do not need games that stress me out right now.
You need to relax. I didn't find it stressful. My friend did. He was talking about how stressed he was and didn't want to play it. And then like an hour later, he texted me and said, I got the third. I was like, how did you get the third if you stopped playing?
It's like, I can't help it.
Yeah. So I played probably 10 rounds. I got up, the highest I got was 25. Got a couple of kills in that round. It's fun. I'm super glad that it's a free-to-play game so that I can kind of get that Battlegrounds itch without... I don't have to buy Battlegrounds now to kind of get what it feels like, and I'm okay. Like, I played 10 rounds. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I'm not super interested. I think I'd love to play duos with you or my friend.
Yeah.
I think that might be fun, but it didn't capture me like it seems to have captured other people.
Yeah, it seems like it's doing really well.
Oh God, it's the highest streamed game on PS4 right now. It topped Battlegrounds on Twitch at least when it released, maybe just because people were interested in,
trying it out,
curious about it. Yeah. But the thing that it does differently is that building mechanic.
Yeah.
Like you can build buildings, build walls. Like I had a guy coming after me shooting me, so I started building walls so he couldn't shoot me. He kept shooting my walls, and I popped out around the corner from the wall and blew him away. So it's that kind of like emergent gameplay is kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's like one of the things. That's one of the things with whenever the Bluehole guys are complaining is they're not the Fortnite team isn't going to be the last company that does a battle royale style mode, and each game's going to be slightly different because their core gameplay is just different. Right. So I wouldn't be. I'm waiting to see like a Call of Duty or Destiny or Overwatch do this type of game mode, like. It's a genre of it's a gameplay mode. Like, I don't see why these games would ignore it. So,
well, I was listening to some podcast and some really, really smart, intelligent, handsome dude was saying maybe the best mode would be like if Nintendo did Breath of the Wild like this. I don't know who said that, but someone
I don't know.
I thought that was a great idea.
Wouldn't that be a lot of fun?
That would be awesome. When I heard that, when you said that last week, I was like, damn, that's a great idea. Just pop in and get your bows.
Just pop in and you're just like, guess what? You start with a stick.
Yep.
Have fun. Start collecting and getting better.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome.
It would be fun. I think there's just a lot. You're going to see this just taken to a lot of different games. Give it some time.
Yeah, I imagine Battlefield. Or
Battlefield would be perfect. I'm surprised. I wonder how. I haven't looked into how moddable Battlefield 1 is right now.
I wonder if DICE would even do it.
DICE would probably do it. I could see Battlefront eventually having a mode like that.
Yeah, but I mean, they keep
Star Wars stuff.
Right, that'd be fun. I mean, this is going to happen everywhere.
Yeah.
And, I think Bluehole was dumb to kind of jump the gun in terms of criticizing and saying,
they're not going. There's nothing you're going to get to do, unfortunately. Like, it's just a mode. You can't sue over that. That's
right. Just make yours better, which, they'll do. Only got a couple minutes left. I beat Lost Legacy.
Nice.
Super, super good. Like, I think it might be my favorite Uncharted, to be honest. Uncharted 4 was, but Uncharted 4 was a little bloated, and this was a lot tighter.
Nice.
And I immediately started again and went on crushing difficulty and started going through the chapters. So that's how good it was. Like, I wanted to play it again as soon as I beat it. And my wife was just so enamored with it, with the portrayal of Chloe and Nadine. So it spoke to me on a lot of levels. And I wrote a little review. I'm probably going to pop up a little podcast.
Nice.
Just a separate recording just with my thoughts on that game. Anything else that you've played in the last week?
No. Lots of Space Tyrant.
Yeah,
not high. We are not doing drugs when we're making this game. Trust us. But
I saw
we're referencing
drugs.
Yeah, that entire race reference has a lot of drug references in it. Our game would not be rated E for everyone.
So, are you finding a lot of engagement from the community?
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. like through our Discord and the Steam forums.
Mm-hmm.
We have a number of people that are really great at giving us feedback and bug reports and like just general balance stuff. It's been good.
Awesome.
That haven't wanted to strangle anyone. Haven't wanted to like tell everyone to shut up. So that's good.
Excellent. Well, thanks for spending time with me tonight. I'm glad we both got to find time tonight to record this. It's been a couple weeks.
That's how it goes.
Hopefully my baby.
It's okay.
Yeah, my baby, I think I mentioned before, like Sundays, she kind of turns into a little monster. Cute little monster, but wow, lots of screaming and just can't be soothed. Since last Sunday, every day has been Sunday. So it's just
not a happy baby right now.
Nah, she's in a phase. She's in a leap, basically.
Yeah.
So
the brain is learning new things, and
exactly.
It makes for very unhappy times.
Well, she's doing new stuff every day. It's just so great to watch. I'm so lucky and blessed to be able to spend so much time with her and see her grow.
Yeah. I will say it doesn't end. My kids are still going through them.
Right. Yeah. You're watching.
It gets spread out. It's basically you now go through a half birthdays is typically disequilibrium.
Uh-huh.
And then when they're at their birthday, they are in equilibrium. So.
Okay.
So like right now, my son is currently going towards disequilibrium, and you can tell.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I bear you strength, man.
It's fine. It's different than when they're babies. You can actually talk to them now, so that helps.
Right. Yeah, that helps to know what's going on inside their heads.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, you get back down. Help everyone out.
I will. Thanks, everyone, for listening to episode 107. Again, I'm at Prof Plays Games. He is at Summer Speak. Great to share some time with you, and we will talk to you again next week.
Night, everyone.
Night, folks.